Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today. Bethesda has faced humiliation once again. This time it's in the form of refunds. Now admittedly this story is a couple of days old. For those of you who have not noticed or did not see it, I uploaded my Patreon trailer yesterday announcing a new studio space, a new video series, a new podcast. Lots of new stuff hitting the channel. That's where my head was at these past couple of days as I was editing that trailer, getting everything together, making sure everything was in place for the big announcement. I thank you guys so much, by the way, for your kind words, your support on that. But anyway, that's why I didn't get to this story right away. I had to take a little bit of a break from the Bethesda news. I took a day off over the weekend and got this trailer out on Monday. So thank you guys so much for your support once more and for understanding. Today's news, though, is hilarious, and it shows just to the people who continue to lick the dirty ass feet of Bethesda that they are so doing it wrong. If you like 76, that's fine, no one's taking that away from you, but your continued support of this company when they know their product is bad is about to be exposed right here. So the following story comes from Video Games 24/7. I'll have them linked in the description down below. Do give them a click, it's a great write-up. But anyway, let's get into the latest Fallout 76 fiasco. In Australia, Fallout 76 players are now able to receive refunds if requested during a specific time period. According to the Australian Competition and Commission, ACCC, ZeniMax Media, Bethesda's parent company, misled customers regarding their right to a refund. The majority were asking for their money back due to the game's technical and performance issues, reports Games Radar. This gets better. ZeniMax has acknowledged that they are likely to have misled certain Australian consumers about their rights to a refund when they experienced faults with their Fallout 76 game, ACCC Commissioner Sarah Court said. Now, if you noticed, I'm slowly rolling out the ACCC because I'm actually counting on my fingers, because if I roll it out too fast, I won't know if I said it like 3 times, 4 times. That's a big acronym, okay? When a consumer buys a product, it comes with automatic consumer guarantees, and retailers must ensure their refunds and return policies do not misrepresent what the Australian consumer law provides. When a consumer has purchased a product that has a fault which amounts to a major failure, the Australian consumer law provides them with a right to ask for their choice of either a repair, a replacement, or a refund. Now, obviously, since Fallout 76 is a video game, Bethesda are the only people who can repair it. It's not like the disc is coming in broken, at least in most cases. You can't really just replace the game and get a new copy. It's gonna be the same thing. So therefore, the only avenue here is a refund for Bethesda to give you your money back for a broken game. The company will now offer refunds to players who contacted the firm between November 24th, 2018 and June 1st, 2019. Should the customer accept the refund, they will no longer be entitled to access and play Fallout 76. In light of this, ZeniMax has also amended its customer service documents and scripts to address the, quote, concerns about the misrepresentation of the consumer guarantee rights under the ACL, end quote. Now, some of you may recall at the end of last year during the whole Fallout 76 launch where everything was on fire around us, that a US law firm sort of put Bethesda under the gun. They went by the name of, I might butcher the name here, but Miglatio and Rathid LLP. I'm sorry, last names are not my business, but anyways, Bethesda was investigated for refusing to issue refunds, and I must emphasize that this was a US law firm. I forgot to add this in the initial recording, but I think it's important to interject now that this whole US law firm intervention occurred around the same time as Bethesda offering people a measly 500 atoms for customers who were affected by the Fallout 76 bag fiasco. You remember the whole canvas shortage epidemic of 2018? Man, good times. But anyway, this was sort of something Bethesda did to void the refund policy for Fallout 76. If you accepted these atoms, you would not be able to return your bag to Bethesda and get the proper one. So Bethesda was looking for workarounds at this point in time, and I think it also connects to some of the other shady stuff that's happened with this game's launch. I don't know if anything really came out of this. A lot of times when a buggy game launches, I always see some random law firm pop up threatening to investigate Bethesda and put them under the legal gun and get them in some really big trouble. But I often think this is just to grow their business because it puts their name in the middle of a big controversy. They look like the heroes, and maybe someone who's struggling with something separate from this issue with Fallout 76 may come to their firm for help, and thus they get more money and whatnot. So that's just my 2 cents on it, because I know Bethesda started to issue refunds for Fallout 76 over time, but I don't think it was because of their threat here. I think it was just because they said, screw it, let's just cancel out the noise and give people what they want. Because while Fallout 76 did have a lot of refunds and people complaining, a lot of folks do forget that this ranked in, I think, the top 30 sold games in the US. So Fallout 76 sold decently, despite how broken it was. Amongst all the games that launched that year, it was top 30. Pretty crazy. Now, the main reason I decided to follow up with making this video is because I still see to this day a lot of folks in my comments section, on my Twitter mentions, telling me that 76 is still great, that Bethesda isn't as bad as everyone says, that it's widely exaggerated, that people like myself do it for views, and I just want to cash in on the fact that Bethesda sucks, and it's like, no. They suck, and here's them practically admitting, hey, our game really isn't what we said it'd be, okay? So to the people out there who do continue to lie down for Bethesda, lick their feet, let them walk all over them, sell them a crummy subscription service, microtransactions, what have you, here's Bethesda saying that they have acknowledged that they have likely misled certain Australian consumers about their rights to a refund, trying to dodge giving their money back, trying to dodge the fact that their product was not functional in that time period. Because another thing that is important to emphasize in all fairness is that this story may be coming out now, but the time period was the launch of 76, which was its worst state, up until June 1st of 2019. So it does not apply to the current state of Fallout 76. Keep that in mind because the game does function a bit better than it did back then. On top of that, there are a lot more patches that did improve the game. It's still, in my opinion, not good, but it is better than the time frame that was mentioned in regards to this refund. So one thing to keep in mind, but still, with all that accounted for, ZeniMax is acknowledging that they have misled people. That is awful. That is awful. And for people to still continue to be like, I still like 76, man, come on. Wake up. Really. Wake up. This company is not doing you any services. And here's the thing I've been trying to emphasize in my videos is just that even if you support Bethesda after all of this, okay, fine, be my guest, but at least fight for yourself because let's say you keep pushing, and Bethesda tries to lower Fallout First or offer more within Fallout First that is something that's fair. Isn't that better for everybody? You get people like me to shut the hell up, your content becomes better, no one loses because you put pressure on them. The second you start making excuses for them is the second they start doing less. No one wants that. You don't want that even if you care about Bethesda. I don't want that because I would like to talk about something else from time to time. It's just, we gotta wake up. One other thing worth noting for my Australian viewers out there, because I know I do have a decent amount of you, is that this is like a qualifying offer. So do know that, let's say right now you're saying, you know what, I want my money back for Fallout 76. You can't. You had to have requested a refund within that window of November 2018 and June 1st, 2019. Within that window there is the only time you could get your money back, which I imagine some of you who did pick up the game were already putting in requests at that point in time. Personally, I'll be the first to admit, I don't bother with digital refunds because most times it's like, oh my God, it's such a hassle. Like these companies fight you tooth and nail just to keep your 60 bucks. I'm like, do you just realize if you gave me my money back, this would be a whole lot easier and it would not result in stories like these. Like imagine if Bethesda said, you know what, we screwed up. We screwed up. Give the people in Australia their money back. Don't hold on to it so tightly. Let's patch the game. Let's build a good PR story out of this. Let's respond to controversy in the right way. Let's go that way. Let's take that route. And then all of a sudden, maybe less people are asking for refunds because they're more willing to wait out and see if the product gets good. Bethesda can then beat out that window that's been set on them and they can improve the game. Like, this is why people say like greed corrupts these companies because that greedy move clouded the vision. They had a window. They could have maybe delayed some people from having to request their money back. Now Bethesda's paying back a lot of people for their game. Once again, like with all gaming news stories, I wish I had the data in the terms of like how many people were refunded, but the industry will be a much better place when we can have access to that stuff. I think stories will be more well-rounded. this could be a non-story. If, let's say there's 50 people who just got a refund, it's like, okay, who cares, right? But now it's just saying generally Fallout 76 players in Australia are entitled to refunds. And it's like, you know, how much is that? But anyway, I wanted to go forth with this story because I know a lot of folks are still defending Bethesda, and if they can say, yeah, it's really not that good and it's kind of broken, then I think we, as the people who are buying it, could. That's just me, though. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What do you think of this latest Fallout 76 fiasco? I swear, man, it's something with Novembers in Bethesda. Last November was not good for them. This November has not been good for them. So let's hear it, ladies and gentlemen. Fire away. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below, along with my Patreon. Do consider supporting that as it fuels all the content I create here. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.